Hi, Dave Jones here again. We're going to look at a Beatles song today. There are many classics, but this is a classic as well. All of them are. But this one's called Day Tripper. It's a great song. It's got a nice little riff. Even if you've never heard the song before, you've probably heard the riff. And I very much doubt that you've never heard the song before. It's based around an E chord and an A chord, the riff. The riff runs through the verse section. There's a twin guitar part. One plays the E chord and the A chord, and the other one plays an E riff and an A riff. We'll concentrate on the riff, and then it moves into a chorus section that's based around dominant 7-bar chords. Now, if you don't know anything about dominant 7-bar chords, there are lessons up on the website on them, the shapes and etc. We're going to use two shapes today. We're going to use the E shape based around an E7 chord, and we're going to use the A shape based around an A7 chord. I won't dwell too much on this because if you're going to do this song, you kind of need to know those shapes. I will show you at the end a little simpler version that you can play in power chords if you're a slightly less experienced player but you want to still play the riff and stuff like that. So what we'll do is we'll start off with the riff, I'll play through it, and then I'll take you through the chord section for the chorus, and then what we'll do is we'll do a close-up of the riff because you probably won't see everything. But I would advise you to print the PDF off the website. I know I keep plugging on about this, but you'll find it a lot easier to follow the tab, and it doesn't cost you any money, except for your printing ink, of course. So we'll crack on, and here comes the riff. Okay, so here's the riff, based around the second position. I'll go more into that when we do the close-up, but I'll play the riff and then we'll crack on with the rest of it. So that's your riff, and that's based around an E chord and an A chord, but like I say, I'll show you that in the close-up. And then we move on to a dominant 7-bar chord, F sharp 7. Barring across the second fret, playing our E7 shape. We're going to use the down, down, up, down, up strumming pattern for this. We're going to play 4 bars of F sharp 7, that's based at the second fret with the E shape, E7 bar chord. Then we're going to slide up to the 5th fret and do A7 for 1 bar. Back to the 4th fret, G sharp 7, sorry, G sharp, put my teeth in, G sharp 7 for 1 bar. Now the next chord is C sharp 7. You could slide all the way up to the 9th fret, and then the next chord's B7, and you could get that to the 7th fret without changing your finger in position with your fretting hand. However, I would suggest that when you've finished your G sharp 7 at the 4th, you change to an A7 shape at the 4th, giving you a C sharp 7 chord. That's based off of a root note on the A string now, and it's based around an A7 holding down the D and B strings respectively. That way we play C sharp 7 here without moving our hand position, and then we'll go back to B7 at the 2nd fret, which will leave us in the right place to continue with the riff, which is the next part of the song. So I'll count you in. Hopefully you've got the PDF in front of you, and we'll strum through it together. So down, down, up, up, down, up. So it's F sharp 7 for 4 bars. 2, 3, 4. Up to the 5th, I, 1, etc. into the riff again. So that's the chord sequence for the chorus section. She was a day tripper, etc. So F sharp 7, 4 bars, A7 at the 5th fret, G sharp 7 at the 4th, changing to the A7 shape, C sharp 7, B7, and then back into it. And it leaves you in the right place. So what we'll do is we'll switch to a close-up, take you through the riff, and then for those of you who have had enough, you can disappear, and for those of you who want to learn how to play it in, say, power chords so you can still play the song, I'll go through that as well. So we're just going to switch to a close-up now. Okay, so here we are with the close-up. Now, the first note, if you're following the tab on the PDF, is the open E string. And then what I'm going to do, I'll play the open E string. I'm going to play all the notes. This is what I mentioned about second position. It's a kind of classical guitar idea, but it works with all other styles as well. This is the second position, basically, starting from the 2nd fret. So in this riff, we're going to be playing at the 4th fret, and all those notes I will play with my 3rd finger, and the 2nd fret, and all those notes I'll play with my 1st finger. So 1st finger and 3rd finger. If there were any, there is one at the 3rd fret, sorry, I'll play that with my 2nd finger. There aren't any at the 5th, so I won't be using my little finger. So it's either open, 2nd, 3rd or 4th. So cover them with these 3 fingers, 1, 2 and 3, and don't use any other fingers to play any of the notes except those. So we're going to play open E, I'll just get this in shot a bit more, open E, then 3rd fret of the E, 2nd finger, 4th fret of the E, 3rd finger. We're going to come down to the A string and play the 2nd fret with our 1st finger. So that's, and then down to the D and play the 2nd fret. I'm sort of flattening this finger across the strings to get all the notes without moving my hand. So that one's rolling across the 2 strings there. Then open D string, take your finger off, and then 2nd fret of the A with your 1st finger, and then 4th fret of the D with your 3rd finger. So and then back to the 2nd fret of the A, and then open D, and then 2nd fret of the D with your 1st finger. So the idea is you learn it in little chunks. Would be the first one to learn. Just keep doing that till you're used to it, and then add the 2 together. I won't go too much on the A, because what happens on the A, you play that riff twice. That's called the E riff. It's based on the E string, and then you do exactly the same thing but down a string. So you move everything down a string. So it's exactly the same sequence. So once you've learnt the A riff, basically you've learnt the E riff. It's just a matter of moving your picking hand down a string and your fretting hand down a string. So you should be able to pick that up really. If you've got the E riff, then you just move everything down for the A riff, and then you go back to the E riff again. So you play the E riff twice, and then you play the A riff once, and then back to the E riff once. And that should do you as a close-up really, because I would have thought you've got the E riff quite quickly if you're following the finger in. Okay, so if you haven't been playing the guitar that long and you want to have a go at that riff, it's totally understandable. It's a cool riff. So what we'll do is we'll look at the power chords that go with it. Basically, it's the same idea. If you haven't done power chords before, what happens is I'm holding the E string down at the 2nd fret with my 1st finger, and the A string down at the 4th fret with my 3rd finger, and I'm playing both the strings at once. Power chords tend to sound, I'm doing this sort of downstroke type thing here. And what you do, that root note there's F sharp 7. Like I say, you should probably print the power chord PDF off the website. You'll start to understand more, because I've explained it all there in loads of text and gumph and pretty colours and stuff. So you can play that for 4 bars. We're going to move up to the 5th fret, keeping the same shape. Power chords are going to stay the same shape. And then we're going to go back to the 4th fret. This is where the 1st finger is. The 3rd finger is always 1 fret gap away. And then we're going to drop down to the A string with the 1st finger, and the D string with the 3rd finger, 1 fret gap, and then we're going to, that's at the 4th fret, and then we're going to move back to the 2nd fret. And what I would suggest you do, if you've played the riff, and you're going to go into the power chords, I would suggest you play 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and all downstrokes, 1 and 2, and then up to. So there's some more lessons and songs up on power chords on the site, so you can get to grips with the power chords and then get on with this song really. So F sharp, 2nd fret, A 4th, G sharp, sorry, A 5th, I'll get it right myself in a minute, G sharp 4th, and then drop down, 4th fret on the A string, 4th fret on the 2nd fret on the A string for the B. It's been a long day. Okay, so hope you found that useful, and I'll see you again sometime.